ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the I Am David Barry podcast. This is episode number 3, week number 3 here, covering the 10 phases of dating. I am Kevin Green, and live in studio we have
David Barry here.
That's right.
Good in Rochester.
It came all the way up from Miami of Florida and is in Rochester, New York here in the flesh.
It was of utmost importance to continue our podcast and deliver the best possible quality, so here I am.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the sound issues that we had. David, I have some relatively exciting news here.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
The amount of followers we have has gone from 1 to double digits.
Double digits?
I don't know exactly where we're at, but we definitely are in double
subscriptions.
I'm talking about followers, people who've signed up, and when we put a new podcast up, they click on it because they want to hear our opinions
about whatever
and what we have to say.
As we speak, people are clamoring for an opportunity to hear it,
and we are over 100 listens.
That's
in general.
That is,
and this is. But we've had about a week off for various reasons, but we're back here now. And before we start, I have to bring something up that I feel like you should be applauded for.
Oh.
I say probably 4 or 5 days ago, David Barry on Facebook, he posted this picture. He went to some boxing symposium or something of that nature, and he posted this picture with this homeless man. And I thought that it was just so wonderful that he took the time to pose with this man and make him feel better about himself.
That homeless man that Kevin speaks of was a guest at the induction ceremony preview for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. That man is Don King.
It was not Don King.
Yeah, perhaps the most popularly known boxing promoter in the history of the sport.
Wait, he wasn't homeless?
No.
Don King's not dead?
Don King is not dead, nor is he currently homeless.
I could have sworn he had a cocaine overdose about 5 years ago.
It's, I mean, his appearance certainly is...
He looked homeless, let's be honest.
Leaves a little bit to be desired.
Right.
But the man does have a denim jacket with an image of himself on the lapel, if you will.
All right.
Yeah.
So never mind. I take away all bonus points. I thought you were being chivalrous and kind and warm-hearted, but apparently
I gave it my best shot.
Yeah, you're just a boxing fan. So what's new with you, Dave? What's happening here? What's going on in your world?
Well, I continue to write for the 10 Phases of Dating. I'm making progress on quite a few chapters all at once. It's a lot of balls are rolling at the same time, and so I'm starting to get the edits in and put the finishing touches on some of the chapters, which is exciting. I've done a couple more interviews, and one of the ones the other day that I wanted to bring up for our podcast today was with a girl who she talked about a lot of her dating disasters.
What can we name her? Let's give her a name.
She wanted to name herself in the book Crystal Chandelier, which I told her would be a terrible name because it was going to be kind of like a really terrible porn star name.
Yeah, that's a bad porn star name.
It's not even, exactly.
What is it? It's like the street where you grew up on and the first name of your pet or something like that?
I think it's your middle name and the street you grew up on or something like that. It's supposed to be your porn name.
Okay, so mine would be Richard Northwood.
Richard Northwood. I would have been Michael Worcester.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's like some kind of Spanish spy thriller porn thing.
That would have been an interesting character. But well, nevertheless, and we'll call her Crystal Chandelier because why not?
Sure.
She, not her real name, had this idea that...
Does she go downtown?
Yeah, she goes downtown. Yeah, she's been known to do that. So she dated this guy for a couple of months.
Okay.
And they broke up and whatever. And... the thing is, in social media age now, you see, we talked about this, all the passive-aggressive statuses and stuff.
Yeah.
What I didn't fully appreciate was the depth to which some people go to strategize their Facebook posting as it relates to guys and girls. And I'm going to give an example.
Okay, sure.
So she breaks up with this guy and starts contacting her friends to basically say, look, I'm going to post something at a certain time.
Right.
And I want you to post a comment on this post right after I put it on, and I want you to, maybe put in, or I want you to like it too, and I want you to...
So, like, she would ask her, she'd post something, and she'd ask all of her friends to like it.
But not just her friends, they were mutual friends that were closer to her than they were to him.
She'd solicit random people.
Who were mutual friends of her and this guy.
It's kind of like what we do with this podcast. We solicit random people to listen to it.
Well, the thing is, she knew that if it was a mutual friend, it would show up on his newsfeed.
Right.
So, of course, he would want to know, well, why is so-and-so posting on her feed?
Right.
And she would intentionally tell him, hey, post something that is like an inside joke between the two of us or whatever when you're commenting.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
By any chance, was her ex-boyfriend Manti Te'o?
No.
Okay.
No. Because if that were the case, then this whole thing would never exist.
It would not. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that across. I wanted to see if that was true or not, because he seems to be the guy that you'd be affected by that kind of thing.
I saw a really funny picture on Facebook the other day of a shower head spraying water into an empty shower and said, leaked photos of Manti Te'o's girlfriend taking a shower.
Yeah, that's hot stuff.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was an eye-opener to me, because I was kind of surprised that people would go to the depths that she did to kind of like make another guy jealous, and she would put up things like this guy that she was friends with and stuff, she would put up very like subtle things like 2 glasses of wine with good company and then tag the guy.
Ambiguous, so the guy runs with it in his head, and it's
right.
worst case.
It's not saying, I'm on a date. Or
haven't you done that before?
Maybe
not to the extent of getting other people who you don't really know, but like you've gone through a breakup or you've dated someone, you've put this kind of vague thing in there just to make them.
Well, we'll put it this way: maybe I've never done it to specifically get back at a person, but I may have done it in a way that wanted to like put in their face that, hey, I'm doing okay. Like, I'm out with my friends, I'm having a really good time.
Or I'm getting a massive pump on at the gym.
Right, or I'm getting my swell on, and I'm huge as...
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
So I've never really gone, like, passive-aggressive per se, but, yeah, like, maybe you do kind of post something that's going to make it seem like, I'm doing just fine, I don't need you.
Right.
Type of thing.
Okay.
But the depths to which people go to put on this image...
Well, women in general, I think, are evil.
Okay, yeah.
I just think the way they view the world is pretty evil and wrong.
Well, Chris Rock said that men are evil and women are crazy.
Yeah,
and men are crazy because, or men are evil because women are crazy.
It's a kind of a chicken before the egg scenario. Which happened first?
Yeah.
I personally, from my experience, I think it's women take most of it.
Yeah,
most of the fault.
In the book, I'm trying to make sure that it's a balanced thing, because obviously as guys, we're seeing...
Well, you're going to be a bias, right? I mean, that's good, because you're going to be biased about it.
No, I'm going to try to be unbiased.
Well, no, I know, but your natural tendency is going to be biased towards the male end of the spectrum.
Right, and I think that makes plenty of sense. And this actually has been a little bit of an awakening for me, if you will, because I'm starting to hear stories that people go through, and, I don't totally identify with a lot of the issues that girls deal with, because they're just psychologically dealt with in a different way than a guy would.
Right.
But they also don't understand why we would manage certain things the way that they would. For example, I think guys are pretty easy, like when it comes to discarding feelings. They're just like, whatever, I'm done, I'm over with. And that to a girl feels so painfully insensitive. And it's not that we don't care, it's just that we are dealing with it in a far more efficient manner than you are.
Right.
At least that's how we
Well,
perceive
you
it.
get rid of, don't keep the garbage around.
Right.
It's time. Move on. On to the next.
Take out the trash.
If I make the decision that I'm done with something, it's easy.
Yeah.
That's one of
most of the time.
But but the guys have the issues when the girls decide, we're over it. Then it's a different thing, because wait, I'm supposed to be the one to discard it and get over it quickly.
It's a double standard.
That's all I do in my everyday life.
I heard a quote the other day that girls fall faster, but guys fall harder.
Yes.
And I tend to think that is true, because...
Richard Northwood is very hard.
Right.
He's a very hard follower.
Hard man.
Get a little water, take a step back, and watch it get rock hard.
That's a veiled reference to
Val Venus, baby.
Val Venus.
Oh, youth.
This is that's gonna totally fly over the head.
What was it actually? It was
add a little. The Big Valboski's like a little concrete mix. Add a little water. Take a step back. Watch it get rock hard.
And the Big Valboski's like a concrete mix.
That's
nice.
How it went.
Got to have the extra A in there.
Right.
Oh my God.
Add the vowel.
Yeah. So you had a pretty horrible fight today, huh?
I did. I flew into Rochester today. For what it's worth, I don't think there are direct flights to Rochester from anywhere, and that they probably have to hire out private jets on the few connecting flights that do exist.
Right.
That was a terrible joke.
No, it was pretty bad.
I flew into Newark out of Miami, and I boarded my flight in Newark to get to Rochester. But before that,
how was Newark?
Well, let's talk about
right?
Newark. No, the best thing that Newark has is to say that we can see New York City's skyline from where we are.
Right.
I always carry a carry-on bag. Even when I travel abroad, I have a carry-on bag because I don't want my luggage to get lost. Well, when I boarded the flight in Miami to Newark this morning, they said, "Sir, there's no more overhead space. We're going to check your bag for you complimentary." That wasn't really a "would you like us to?" It was, "That's what we're going to do."
That's what's happening.
Well, lo and behold, I arrive in Rochester, New York today without my luggage.
Oh, your bag didn't get there first?
No, my bag did not get there first, and it didn't get there at all.
Oh,
so,
okay.
For those of you listening, I know you can't see, but I'm wearing a glorious purple cashmere sweater over a dark blue button-down, and I will be wearing this for the next 4 days because my luggage has not, and most likely will not, arrive by the time I head back to Miami.
Sure.
So that sucked. But then on the connecting flight from Newark to Rochester, I was on a 23-passenger plane that was what my mother would call a Flintstone plane, that literally looks like they could have gotten it off the ground if all the passengers kicked their feet on the ground and it lifted off. And I was in the final row of the plane, and I was sweating. And I'm not a sweater per se, although I'm wearing a sweater.
Jeez, your jokes are awful.
Terrible. So I asked the flight attendant, and I was like, it literally probably is 80 degrees back right now in the back of the plane. Is it always like this? And he says, in the back of the plane, yes. So needless to say, I was a sweaty mess. I got off the plane. I had no luggage. Not a good day.
Have you ever hit on a woman in an airplane? I've often pondered it. Like I've flown a lot, and trying to you sit next to that girl and you want to say something, and you don't necessarily do like the 8th grade thing where you kind of share the armrest and just kind of like rub forearms until she gets the idea. That doesn't really fly. It's a very awkward thing. You know,
it's kind of like when you're at the bar, you have to find something in the bar to talk about.
But it's a different scenario.
Observationally,
it's a different scenario.
Well, when you're in the airplane,
no one's comfortable. No one feels attractive.
Yeah. And they can't escape either. The thing is, at the bar, the girl's not really happy with your come on. Well, she goes away.
She goes away. She goes to do a shot of tequila off of some girl's tits, and that's the day.
I mean, that could happen.
It happens all the time.
But that's not going to happen on the airplane. If you have like a bad joke, like all the ones I've had tonight, and she doesn't take it well, it's
But then the thing is, like, this is the problem. You're sitting next to the girl. You start talking, and then you make that bad joke or that bad story, and you're stuck. And you keep trying to recover for that one joke, and all you're doing is digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. And she can't
leave. It's kind of like waterboarding for a minimum of 3 hours.
She's stuck, and she just thinks this is the weirdest guy. You can't recover.
No.
Like in a first impression, if you screw it up with a girl, you're done, right?
Isn't that terrible? I mean, it is true.
It's fair. I mean, a girl comes up to me, and she's got like.
Can you immediately ask for a mulligan? You say, whoa, hold on. I didn't mean that.
I mean,
hold on.
I guess you could, but that's just that to me. That just contributes to the joke.
Yeah,
digging down deeper. I mean, can I tell you my foolproof way?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
this is how.
Let's hear it. And it's so foolproof that Kevin is still single.
I'm a single man, but it doesn't mean I get numbers.
Okay.
If I'm in a bar by myself.
Yeah. Which is already an interesting circumstance.
Well, you do that a lot when you're a lonely alcoholic. You go to a bar and you just sit
so it's just another
to
day.
Watch the game. Yeah, that's what you do. And especially in New York, you can go. There's a different thing.
Okay.
So I sit at the bar, and inevitably, if a girl comes to the bar, she's not going to be by herself. She's going to be with a friend.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They'll sit by the bar. So I'll just sit there, sipping my drink, looking up. And then inevitably they'll say something funny, or something funny will happen, and I'll just laugh and shake my head and then take a sip of my drink. And then they'll bring me in the conversation. What?
Okay.
Oh, what? And then, that was funny.
See, I think that fits your personality well.
Oh, yes.
One of the things that I've been using, if I'm in that circumstance, is because now girls cannot go anywhere without documenting where they are. Meaning,
what are you talking about? Like
meaning that it's going to be a picture of the girls to put on Instagram.
Not even just like checking into the place.
Oh, like, that too. But I mean, they're taking pictures to document it on Instagram or Facebook. So invariably, there's going to be one of the girls in that group that's left out. She's got to take the picture. If someone's left out, nay, my friend, I will take the picture of your group. And then as I'm saying, oh no, I'll take it for you. Go ahead, get in the picture.
Right.
I'm like, you all look beautiful tonight. Or something to that effect. Because there's a group of them that at least one of them is going to find it sort of charming.
Well, yeah, I mean...
unless you say it like creepily.
It's a fine line, though, because you
don't say it like, you guys are so hot.
Well, of course
That's
not.
creepy.
But it's a fine line because you want to compliment the ugliest girl in the group. But then
so do you point her out and
say... Well,
say...
yeah, you want to make her feel good so the other friends, it loosens the whole atmosphere up. They're like, oh, he's not just going for the hot one. But then you could